When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. It's not that complicated, it's you we gotta believe. You put me down in a hole before I let you sustain. I never been complacent, I can't afford to pay. I know you think you're special, but you ain't nothing. Can you read between the lines?
Hey guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. Now let's get right into this fanfiction. Izuku is putting on his UA uniform as he wore his leather jacket over the school uniform. When he made his way back downstairs, Ivy was waiting for him. She slowly approaches him and fixes his uniform. I'll fix. Much better. You look good in it. Is Harley still home? She had to leave early. She had an emergency session. She should be home when you get back. What about you? I thought you had to work. It's my job. I have a little more time. Oh, sorry. With my job, I have a little more leeway when it comes to my hours. Then Harley. I wanted to see you off. As she kisses Izuku on the cheek. Have a good day. If you don't leave now, you're going to be late. Thanks, Ivy. No problem, hon. I know this means a lot to you, but at the same time, I don't like the idea of you being around so many other girls. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a bit jealous, but I trust you. You don't need to worry, Ivy. You and Harley are the only women that I have any interest in. I have no other interest in any other girl. And you know me well enough. I'm not what you call a people person. I can't stand other people. I'm polite, of course. I'm not a dick. But that doesn't mean that I trust any of them. Only people I trust are you and Harley. I know you don't like people or trust people in general, but try to make some friends. You'll be surprised. They might surprise you. I highly doubt that, but we'll see. I need to go in before I'm late. I'll see you when I get home. He hugged Ivy and kissed her on the lips. That surprised her. He's becoming a lot more affectionate recently. As he's about to step out of the front door, as he stopped at the archway, I know you and Harley been waiting patiently for my answer. You'll get my answer real soon. Try not to overwork yourself today. As Ivy watches Izuku leave to go to his first day of UA, as she gently touches her lips with her finger, it's very rare for Izuku to initiate such a passionate initiate a passionate kiss like that. She was surprised but not disappointed. She had a smile on her face that lasted the whole day as she made her way to work, still having that smile on her face. As Izuku finally made it to UA and began to make his way to the class 1A, he noticed the huge metal doors of Class 1A as he opened he opened the door to walk in. He is the last student to arrive as he sees Black Canary reading some sort of documents on her desk, waiting for everyone to arrive to start the class. As Izuku made his way to his seat, he did notice the glare from the angry blonde. He completely ignored him, of course. He completely ignored his existence as he sat down by a blonde girl. By the look of her, he expects she must be from America. To his right, and on his left is Jiro. Silently greet him as he gave her a nod in return. Hello, class. Now that everyone has finally arrived, we can officially begin your first year of UA. I am Black Canary, a member of the Justice League. I was asked by Principal Nezu personally to teach you this year in the hero to teach the first years in the hero course. Your time here in my class will not be easy. I will train you physically and mentally in hand-to-hand combat and strategies. So you have the tools in case you are put in a situation where you have no choice but to choose who to save and who to let die. As a member of the Justice League, oh sorry, give me a second, guys. As a member of the Justice League, I have been put in situations where not everyone was able to be saved. And I don't know what type of fairy tale or fantasy you thought a hero of this career would be like. If you don't take this seriously, there's a good possibility you will get someone killed or you will die in action yourself. And it's my job to guarantee you have the best tools once you finally begin your hero career. And I fully attend to make sure that doesn't happen. I also will be teaching you personally one by one, if it's needed. And I will mold you. I will mold you. Oh, sorry. I will mold this class in, into proper heroes. Now I will be handing out your gym uniforms. I know there's an orientation going on right now, but you're in the hero course. We don't have time for such luxuries. To attend such events, I want you all to line up. I will be handing out your gym uniforms to each of you. I want you to take your uniforms and head to the locker room and meet me on the field. I'll explain further once you arrive. As everyone lined up to get their gym uniform, Izuku was the first one to leave the room. As the students were handed their uniforms, as Momo stayed behind, as Black Canary wanted to talk to her. So how you been holding up, Momo? Since that since that terrible event you had to be involved in. I've been good, Sensei. I wanted to thank you again for saving me. You're quite welcome, but I'm going to let you on a little secret. Can you keep this between us? Of course, Sensei. Of course, Sensei. I wasn't the only one who was trying to save you. You know the young man with the green with sorry. You know the young man with the leather jacket that was sitting near the back. As Momo nods at Black Canary, I wouldn't be able to save you so fast without his involvement. Apparently, he saw you got kidnapped, so he decided to help. He was going to help you. He was going to attempt to rescue you. Of course, I have my doubts he would be able to if I wasn't there. Sorry, I have no doubt he was able. Sorry again. I have no doubt that he would be easily. I again. Of course, I have no doubt he would be able to rescue if I wasn't there. The boy seemed quite adequate in his skills. Really? I decided not to say anything because I didn't want to I didn't want to put the boy in trouble. And for some reason he did not want to be known that that he helped you. Regardless of the law, he still wanted to help you. That type of character would make a great hero one day, willing to help someone even though he had to break the law to do so. It shows me that he values more for the safety of others than some stupid law from preventing him to do so. If you need to be thanking anyone, it would be him. Thank you, Sensei. I will. As she watches Momo leave the classroom, outside of teaching her class and keep an eye on Izuku, she also wants to break him out of his shell. After researching him a little more, she figured out he has a lot of trust issues. Generally doesn't like people, so hopefully she will help that along by making him interact with the class, with the rest of the students. Izuku made his way to the locker rooms as he put on his uniform, as before anyone could get into the locker. He waited on the field with the rest of the waited on the field for the rest of the students to arrive, as he's leaning against a tree, as he's wearing his leather jacket over his gym uniform. He has no desire to socialize with anyone here. Outside of Jira, she's the only one that he can't stand being around. He wants to concentrate on taking this class seriously and getting his hero license and beginning his hero career. Black Canary finally arrive on the field with the rest of the students. Now that everyone's here already, normally we would do a quirk evaluation test, but that's a mistake. That's a mistake I will not be repeating. In my class, I will not be repeat. Oh, sorry. I will not begin developing your skills in your quirks. You'll be learning hand-to-hand combat on the field. You're going to come. You're going to come to situations where your powers are completely useless. Hand-to-hand combat is a necessary skill you need on the field. Even a person with no abilities could take out someone with powers if they're trained enough. I've seen it many times in the Justice League. There are several members of the League that has no powers whatsoever, and they're most dangerous. They're quite dangerous, huh? Your most powerful tool at your disposal is not your quirk. Class, can anyone tell me what's the most powerful tool you have access to? Young Midoriya, can you tell me what's the most powerful thing you have in your arsenal? Everyone turned to see Izuku still leaning against the tree. It's your mind, Sensei. It doesn't matter how much power you have. If you don't have the mind, without brains, you might as well be powerless. I've seen many people use their abilities without using their brain because they refuse to use their head. They got a one-way ticket to the grave. Don't make me laugh. You don't know what you're talking about. All I need is my explosions. I don't need my brain for that. I've seen many. Oh, sorry, give me a second, guys. I've seen many people like you, Blondie, and they never live long. You would never survive in Gotham. Gotham would eat you alive. Sorry to burst your little bubble, but this is the real world, not your safety bubble that you've been living in. Let me guess, people just praise you because of your quirk. Feel bad for you, man. Your explosion is quite impressive, I'll give you that. But I've seen it, and I've seen your explosion firsthand, but that doesn't make you strong. It makes you predictable. Let's see how predictable I am when I beat you down to the ground, bastard. It seems like you two are fired up. You'd be the perfect example of what everyone's gonna be doing today. What do you mean, Sensei? I want you and young Bakugo here to spar with each other without using your quirks or your abilities. let's make myself perfectly clear. No quirks. No quirk usage. This is a hand-to-hand exercise. With pleasure, teach. I don't need my quirk to put that green bastard in his place. It's about time I show everyone you're not on my level. I could tell a lot of you are confused why I'm doing this. This is to gauge if you have any martial arts training. I'm an expert in hand-to-hand combat. I can gauge what you need to work on from these little spars. I'll be pairing the class into two. Everyone will get a chance to spar regardless if you had any martial arts training or not. I could show you several fighting techniques to help you along after I figure out where you at. After I figure out where you at. If you had any training in the past. Like I said, you'll need these skills in the future. I will be teaching you different styles of fighting. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. As a teacher, it is my responsibility to make sure you have the necessary tools so you could do your job properly. Let's begin. Get in your positions and begin your spar. You two. Kara or Kara, I forget how you pronounce her name. As Kara walked over to Black Canary, are you sure this is wise, Sensei? I've seen those two interact with each other. It's clearly obvious they don't like each other. I've noticed the tension between those two. That's why I'm here. Or that's why I'm putting them against each other. It's clearly noticeable. They'll be at each other's throats eventually. I would rather have them fight in a controlled environment that I have complete control over than their typical street brawl. And I'm also curious to see the young Bakugo, if he has any skills or he's all talk. Since the moment I saw him walking into the classroom, I knew he was one of those types that thinks he's above everyone else. I'm going to correct his behavior. I'm going to do something that his mother should have done a long time ago. I've seen the boy's records. Let's just say I wasn't too impressed. And the boy clearly needs an attitude change. If someone doesn't fix this soon, he could get himself killed. He could get someone killed, or he could get himself killed. And that I will not allow. So you're saying he's some sort of bully? Sensei? Correct. It's well documented. He bullied several students in his past in his past schooling, including a few quirkless children. Sadly, people are treated pretty badly here if you don't develop a quirk in this country. It's horrible. I can't stand people like that. We're in agreement on that, but I can't allow my personal feelings on the matter compromise my judgment. The match is about to start. Let's see what those two can do. As Bakugo get into a fighting stance, Izuku can tell by his fighting stance he clearly doesn't know any martial arts or have any prior training. He's pretty much a street baller. Or yeah, I can't pronounce that right now, but let's continue. Izuku got into a As he got into a mixed martial arts stance, it didn't take Bakugo long to rush towards Izuku and try to land a right hook, only for his fist to be knocked away by the back of Izuku's hand, and got a nasty palm strike in the center of his chest, making Bakugo go slide backwards a little bit as he coughs up blood. After Bakugo got over the shock of being struck, the angry blonde only growled as he repeatedly tried to charge Izuku, only for each attempt is to get his hand slapped away by the back of his hand, and for Izuku to land a vicious counter strike to the right side of his ribs, followed up by a roundhouse kick on the side of his head as he goes flying across the ground a little bit. Izuku's clearly holding back his strength. He might not like the blonde, but he doesn't want to kill him. But if he has to break some couple bones, he's okay with that. He's quite impressive, even though he doesn't follow the dress code completely. I'll have to have a talk to him. I'll have to have a talk with him about that later. But he's quite impressive, indeed. Whoa, he's making that blonde guy look like a total amateur. Clearly, there's a difference between their skill level. I knew he was good, but I didn't know he was that good. And he's not even using his quirk or whatever power he has. I'm still not sure on it. I'm not sure though he has a quirk yet. It seems to be overpowered to be a quirk. I I could tell clearly from the entrance exam. The rest of the class was quite impressed, including Black Canary and Supergirl, by Izuku's performance in this small spar with Bakugo. Bakugo is breathing heavily as he wipes some blood from his face. Hey, green bastard! I can, I can full, sorry, I can admit you're good. You're pretty strong, but you're not going to win this. I am the best, and I will prove it. I am the hero of this story, and the rest of you are nothing but extras. Confident, are we? Very well. I'll give you a free shot. As Izuku points to his cheek as he turns his head in a taunting gesture. Izuku wasn't surprised that Bakugo took the bait. Izuku allowed Bakugo to land a right strike. Well, he allowed Bakugo to land a right hook across his face, only for the angry blonde to be shocked, like his attack didn't even hurt him at all. Izuku grabbed onto Bakugo's right wrist and repeatedly to knee him in the stomach. Then he grabbed Bakugo by the face and slammed him into the ground. Alright, you two, enough. I've seen enough. Alright, that's enough, you two. I've seen enough. That's what basically I was trying to say. So much for being the best. As Izuku turned around and put his hands in his jacket pocket as he turned his back to Bakugo and walked away, only for Bakugo to slowly get back up and charge Izuku to hit him with a cheap shot. As Bakugo let out an explosion to increase his movement speed, as he let out a large explosion at Izuku, everyone in the class was surprised to see the green-haired guy, only to turn around and catch the explosion and combine it in some sort of round ball by a invisible unknown force that they can't see with their naked eye, as Izuku caught the explosion with his telekinesis like he did at the beach. This looks familiar, my blonde friend. Where have I seen this before? All right, I remember. The beach. I believe this belongs to you. Try not to lose it next time. As he flashed steps in front of Bakugo and hit him with his own explosion in his stomach, as he goes flying across the field, landing against a nearby tree, cracking the tree trunk from the extreme force. As he turned around to see as he turns around to see all the class in shock expressions on their face, except for Kara and Black Canary. Sorry about that, Sensei. Couldn't help myself. I was only defending myself, after all. He tried to attack me when my back was turned with his quirk. As Izuku made his rest of the way back with the class, with his hands in his jacket pocket, It's fine. You're not in the wrong here. I'm going to have a word with Bakugo after class. Anyways, I was going to talk to him anyways. Please make your way back to the rest of the class. Understood, Sensei. Alright, class, I want everyone here to wait while I take young Bakugo to see Recovery Girl. The rest of you just talk among yourselves. I should be back shortly. As she pick up the angry blonde and toss him over her shoulder, as she walks away to go to the infirmary to go see Recovery Girl. Izuku, do you need, Araka? If this is about me going a little overboard on Bakugo, he kind of deserved it. I'm not mad at that. He kind of deserved it. He brought it upon himself. I just want to apologize for him. He's a bit of a knucklehead. I didn't think he would actually try to attack you when your back was turned, though. It's all under the bridge. I might not like the guy, but I minimized the damage. That's why I targeted his stomach. He might have a splitting headache for a couple days for hitting that tree so hard. He's to be back and running in no time. I've dealt with people like him before. He's the type of guy that doesn't learn from a simple conversation. You have to use physical force to to get to get through that thick skull of his. I doubt I made any leeway though. He's most likely going to try to attack me even harder now. It doesn't really matter. Well, what he does, he can't hurt me. Not a lot of things could, not a lot of things could hurt me nowadays. As everyone was listening, as everyone was curious what Izuku meant by that, but they knew he wasn't going to talk any further on the subject, as he went back to the tree to lean against it and distance himself from the rest of the class. All the girls in the class noticed that he has no interest in interacting with the rest of the class. Izuku has no intention in socializing with his class, but at the same time, he's not going to ignore them or be rude to them. After all, he's going to be stuck with them for the rest of the year. He's possibly going to be stuck with them for the next 3 years. So he's trying to make this as much pleasant as possible. Everyone was talking among themselves. Momo approached Izuku nervously, as she's not used to talking to guys. Izuku, can I have a word with you? As he raised his eyebrow at the black-haired girl. I'm Momo Yairozu. Momo, what can I do for you? I want to thank you for what you did that night. When I found myself in a difficult situation, when I was kind of abducted. No idea what you're talking about, Momo. There's no reason to hide it. I learned that you were involved by our sensei. She told me everything. Mostly everything, at least. I'm kind of shocked that you were the one that was wearing that mask. I can see why Bakugo couldn't stand a chance against you in that little spar. Of course she would. Don't think nothing of it. I just happened to be in the area. Even if that's so, I want to thank you regardless. I won't deny it, but I can see you're not going to let this go. You seem to be the stubborn sort, so you're welcome, Momo. I did, I did not try to rescue for praise or acknowledgement. At the end of the day, it was the right thing to do, even though I originally was going to walk away, but my conscience got the better of me. Black Canary finally returned as Izuku no longer has to socialize with anyone. as she immediately started to pair up the rest of the class into into different groups so they could spar with each other. As she oversees their performance very closely, Kara herself had to hold back drastically so she doesn't accidentally seriously hurt anyone of her fellow students because of her Kryptonian su- super sorry superior biology. Izuku spent the rest of the day at school in his classes. By the end of the day, everyone was going to head to their dorm rooms except for Izuku. As he's on his way out of the school, a lot of the Class 1A students are curious where he's going. They thought he was going to stay in the dorms. Before he could leave the campus, Gerald did approach him. Hey, Izuku, I was hoping to catch you before you leave. We didn't really have a chance to talk today. What's up, Jiro? Just curious, aren't you staying in the dorms with the rest of the class? Oh, I have to head back home. Moving in the dorms, it's not my thing. And it really wouldn't be a good idea. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Gerald. I need to get back home. I need to get back home. All right, I'll see you tomorrow then, Izuku. As Gerald turns around to head back to the dorms, she's a bit curious why it wouldn't be a good idea to live in the dorms with the rest of the class. But she didn't want to butt in his personal business, so she left alone for now. When Jill went back to the dorms, all the girls followed her in her room as they all discuss with each other about the mysterious green hair boy. They're a bit confused why he's so distant compared to the other guys that's in the class. Like he doesn't want to socialize with anyone in there. The girls are just worried and confused, especially Momo, with the brief interaction she had with Izuku. She knows he's not a bad guy, or or rude at all. He's quite nice. She's highly confused why someone so nice would try to separate himself from the rest of the class, like he doesn't consider him a part of the class. That bugged her greatly. With the rest of the girls, especially Mina, she hasn't had any interaction with the green hair boy. She's about to change that though. It's just not in her to let it's it's not sorry. It's just not in her to let this continue. She's always had a bubbling personality and always wants to make new friends. She wants to see the whole class get along with each other, even the angry blonde, even though she doesn't like him very much. Bakugo kind of rubbed the whole classroom the wrong way. While the girls were discussing Izuku, the sorry, let's start again. While the girls were discussing Izuku, of their topic of the day, he's making his way home. As he finally got to his house and walked through the front door, as he sat on the couch and leaned his head backwards and put his hand over his forehead. Damn, today was exhausting. As it was extremely exhausting for him. As Harley noticed Izuku's home, as she flopped on the couch right next to him. So, rough day, Izuku? I have no idea. It was so irritating interacting with the rest of the class. I just want to be left alone and concentrate in finishing this year without no hassle. But I'm having a feeling things are not going to go as planned. Sorry, guys. Cheer up. As she repositioned Izuku, as she placed his head on her lap, as she gently as she gently strokes his hair. You might be very, you must be very hungry. After an exhausting day, dinner is almost ready. I figured you would be hungry after your first day of UA. If you want to talk about what happened today, we can discuss it over dinner. Ivy is currently in the backyard, doing whatever she does, most likely gardening. You know her. After laying on Harley's lap for a while, he finally began to relax, and eventually he had to get up, even though he really didn't want to. As all three of them sat in the kitchen as they began to start to eat dinner. After Ivy asked how was his day, he told both the girls about his day at at UA, and about his fight with the angry blonde, and constantly being bugged by the other students, asking a bunch of stupid questions he doesn't want to answer, and some personal question from a girl that goes by Sue, that has some sort of frog mutation quirk. She seemed to be a very nosy and blunt a type of girl. He even told them about the interaction he had with Momo Yaoyorozu about about um about her thanking him for saving her when she was abducted that one night. After eating dinner with Ivy and Harley, he spent a he spent a good amount of time on the couch doing whatever schoolwork he had to get done for his regular classes. After his hero classes, of course, as he accidentally fell asleep. He noticed he passed out on the couch. She gently shook him awake. Come on, let's go to bed. As she gently holds onto his hand and led him to the bedroom where Harley is already fast asleep. When Izuku finally lay down on the bed, she wrapped his arms around her as she leaned against his chest. As they both fall asleep, she got used to sleeping in the same bed as Izuku. She has a hard time sleeping without him. Being in the same bed. For some reason, I'm having a hard time talking, so I do apologize for that. She got quite accustomed to his presence. Izuku woke up the next morning with Ivy and Harley on a death grip on him. He is unable to get out of bed without waking the two. Somehow he was able to get out of bed without waking them. As he made his way to the kitchen to start a pot of coffee, then he head up to the bathroom to take a shower, and for him to get his uniform ready for his second day of UA. When he was in the shower, he heard the shower door open up as Ivy is completely naked as she hugged him from behind. He clearly could feel her bosom leaning against his back. Sorry about this, Izuku. I couldn't help myself. When I heard your shower, I figured I would join you. As their house and bathroom are based off my American house, so the bathroom are a tad bit different than the rest of the houses in Japan. After Ivy seductively flirting Izuku, and after they had a quick makeout session in the shower, they both got a shower and started to get dressed. As Ivy and Harley sees Izuku off when he walked out of the front door to go to UA while drinking his thermos filled with coffee. And that's where we're going to stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Judge my time zones, and I do apologize for the rambling on. I had a hard time speaking for some reason, so I'll catch you in the next video.